Kieran, use Thundershock.
Who's your favourite Pokemon?
Typhlosion.
Wrong.
No.
Totodile is best. Or Charmander. Or Squirtle.
Hey, I'm Kieran.
And I'm also Kieran.
And this is The Kieran Show.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Kieran Show.
Here we are, all over again.
All over again. You join us after my very first kitbash.
And you like it?
I like it more than I did last week.
Good, that's good, because I think it's really cool.
Got some nice comments from people, which always helps.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about me. We're going to talk about making some proper Night Lords.
Making some proper Night Lords, as the title suggests.
Yeah.
If you have been watching the last few videos, obviously, first and foremost, thank you very much. You would also know that we have a narrative on the way.
We do have a narrative. It's going to be centred around boarding actions. It's going to take place on the Rock. Ooh.
Ooh.
A little bit of a nugget there. It's going to be Night Lords / associated Chaos Warbands versus the Dark Angels.
The Angels of the Dark.
Mainly the Deathwing, just because Deathwing's cool.
So basically I have been kit bashing, I think, nearly every model I have. This video, hilariously, was actually supposed to be about the HQ that I've got for the Night Lords, but sadly, he's coming tomorrow, not today, so...
Post being what it is, powers of the warp and all of that.
So I figured we'd do it for the elite.
But you did
instead.
do some really cool stuff to some Terminators.
Yeah, for sure. So I think...
which leads us straight in.
Let's go, yes. So the Chaos Terminator kit is a great kit. It is really good, but I think my biggest downside with it is that it will look the same no matter what colour.
Yeah, there's not a lot of flavour. Not a lot of flavour in that kit.
No, I feel like if I'm sure that many people feel the same way, they'll probably just look at it and be like, "Oh, that's a Chaos Terminator." You know?
Yeah.
And they're like, "It's great," but it's not what I want.
I feel the same, especially for the World Eaters. I'm still slightly sad we didn't get Red Butchers. Even if it was just an upgrade sprue just to have the heads, but they're just going to look like all of the other Chaos Terminators.
It is very funny you mentioned the World Eaters. Because in their brand new box of 8-bound, I noticed that a few of the weapons that we use for the 8-bounds are like those really menacing looking chain swords and axes and all the rest of it.
The giant two-handed glaive is wicked as well.
Oh, for sure. They look very Night Lordsy.
Yeah, you saw a few bits, didn't you?
Oh, I did. So they're very like Butcher-esque. I suppose my main inspiration for these guys was the Horus Heresy Contenka. I think it's how that's pronounced. If it's not,
we did try and work it out before this video, and we came up with 9 different ways of saying it.
Yeah, Abaddon, Tomato. It's all the same.
Fancy Night Lords Terminators.
Yeah, nice. They're like really gnarly. They're kind of, I think they're like Tartarus style. Obviously, I'm not going to buy any Tartarus Terminators because I got the Chaos ones, so yeah, deal with that really well. And they're, so really, really sweet. Put some trophies and stuff on them, but ultimately, strip back the trophies, those like spike rack things that were on them, and with a similar essence to what I've done for the other Legionnaires that you might have seen already, make my own trophies. So lots of green stuff and everything like that. However, as I'm sure you'll already know, the Chaos Terminators are quite monopose. Like the arms come like as a whole, they're just like this is an arm. It
Can't
goes this
even
way.
move the legs or anything. They're just
no. So
you've got 5 Terminators with exactly the same position. Arms all in the similar position. There's not a lot of room to give them cool like Superman.
That's it, and I love that as a challenge. I really do like that as a challenge. So
so you cut up the Terminators a bit, didn't you?
I did. I think the bodies and the legs are fine. Like I think they're like no problem there. Like the main issue I had was with the arms. I think the first thing I started with was taking off all of their Terminator swords and stuff that come on the sprue. They're replacing them with the new 8-bound stuff, so they feel very Contenka. I'm going to keep saying it like that, doesn't matter. They feel very like Butcher-esque, which is really cool. Yeah. So the next issue I had was, instead of having like a monopose arm where it literally glues into a slot and then it's stopped, it was shaving off the slot then cutting all around the top of the arm, using a blob of green stuff, and then just sort of like moulding it into place and where I wanted it to go. Which is, it's hella messy. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But
the poses for them work. You'll see pictures of all 5 of them.
Overlaying over the top.
But yeah, they do look wicked.
It's just trying to do something a little bit different, and I think that you will absolutely go through an ugly stage, as we sort of found in the last video we had with Khan.
Green Stuff Man.
Green Stuff Man. Yeah, you'll go through the ugly stage for sure, but I think just putting them in the position you want is like the number one issue, I suppose, that you've got to conquer. And then you can just have some fun with that. So that's where we ended up next, which was super fun.
So you stuck loads of gribbly bits and God knows what to these Terminators, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, I think ultimately when it comes to Night Lords, they need to be scary. I think if you've got like space vampires aligned with chaos coming out of the dark...
just insert Dwight gif from The Office where he's got the face.
Hello, Clarice. They've got to be really scary, and I feel like Night Lords taking people's skin and skulls and trophies.
They are really, really dark individuals.
It's so metal, and I'm in. It's really minging, and also like proper scary. So I doubled down on that. I think the trophy racks that you get with the Chaos Space Marine kit are...
They're okay.
They're okay, but they're not Night Lords, I don't think. I don't think they're enough. I think they need to be more menacing. I think those Forge World kits that they released, I think they are scary. They are a bit nasty.
We had a look at some of the heads, didn't we? And they're really cool.
Even just the trophies and stuff, just like they feel a bit more gruesome.
Like there's the one guy that looks like he's just holding a ball of skin.
Like just like mulch, just like in his power fist. And
then there's the guy with the necklace with like skin pinned to it as like an apron.
It's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible, but it's wicked.
So metal.
Very cool. So ultimately I wanted to do lots of work with green stuff, like make my own sort of like skin grafts, which are like horrible.
Yeah, you put skin like draped over their shoulders.
Yeah, almost.
And with some motion coming out the back, so it's
just like flapping in the wind.
That's a lovely thought there.
Yeah, it's minging. But yeah, no.
Imagine that coming at you though. Like imagine you're in the Warhammer universe and you just see these. Oh, some Terminators. Oh, those Terminators have got skin capes flailing behind you. Like I don't want to be on Barry's right hand shoulder.
I don't want to be on their shoulders. Oh, what did I say? I was going to get Simon. It was Simon. Simon's shoulder.
Alvin, Simon, Theodore. These are the Chipmunk Night Lords.
Oh, God's sake.
You've got to call one Bruce though, because they're Batmans.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Bruce. Where was I? Forgotten.
Flailing skin, and then you also the one detail that you did add that I think is really cool is they've got like the spikes.
Yeah.
So it's not even like they've finessed. I'm gonna wrap it around my arm. It's just here's a giant spike. Here's a bit of skin stabbed through the middle.
Absolutely. I think the direction I wanted to go, where it's like they've literally just stripped it off one of their foes, stuck it on, got one of their mates to impale it with like a metal rod, and it's just like that's your trophy. Like exactly the same with the heads, like ripping a head off the foe, sticking it on, spike through the top. It's got to be like horrendous.
Like, that reminds me of the Forge Rocket. You know the one that's got the face.
Yeah, like stretched face across the shoulder.
Was dark.
Yeah, that's gnarly. It's so gross. But yeah, that's really what I wanted to double down on. I think they're a really interesting kit to play with, Terminators, because I think they're very versatile. If you've got a specific idea, like you can definitely achieve it, but I think it's the means that you get there. So ultimately the poses I wanted to be like a bit more like come and fight me because I'm a Night Lord and this is my...
Do you want to be the skin on my leg?
What a horrible proposition.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they had to be fearsome, and I'm really excited to paint them up and bring them on the tabletop as well.
Yeah, they look really, really sweet. I really hope that we end up at a stage in 40k where every sub faction of Chaos has its own set of Terminators, even if they're not.
What do you mean by that? Do you mean like each like Legion, or do you mean like just the four
I know it probably doesn't make financial sense for Games Workshop to have 10 different Terminator Chaos kits.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I think it's...
Well, no, we didn't get red butchers, which is a shame. Maybe if they could just do an upgrade sprue.
Yeah.
That would be cool. If they did, is the Terminator kit older now?
I think it's older, but I think this...
doesn't need a refresher, does it? I think if they had an upgrade sprue that just had some different heads on that you could put on the Terminator for your Legion, similar to how they've done in Horus Heresy for the Marines.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that'd be wicked.
Maybe that's the solution to the Terminator problem.
Maybe I think that's all that they need, especially for World Eaters. To be fair, the Red Butchers. I think you.
I think they just need the thing that made me really happy with my World Eater Terminators would be the heads. And I did have a look. It's a shame you can't get the Red Butcher kit doesn't come with just the heads off. They're in the body, so there's no way to get Red Butcher heads unless you get a 3D printed one. Yeah. There isn't an official kit that's got them in.
No, I think it will come. I think we've only just got World Eaters. I'm sure they'll come out. But if you're going to get another,
imagine some Emperor's Children Terminators though.
They look wicked with like sonic weapons and stuff, or like you could have them really demonic with like snaky bits.
Yeah,
very
there's
cool.
as long as they don't end up like the Fiends where it's not safe for work.
Oh yeah,
with the
boobs
down the side. That's not. I wouldn't want to paint them on Terminators.
Yeah, that'd be a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, no, I think the Night Lords are a really, really fun little faction to paint up as well, because I don't think they're not very like represented.
I think a lot of people get put off by the Thunderbolts.
They're actually a lot easier to paint.
Thunderbolts, not Lightning.
Lightning, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get Thunderbolts. Pikachu does.
Yeah.
I hope we use that intro. Anyway, yeah, the lightning bolts are a lot easier to paint than you think they would. Maybe we'll have like the pictures overlaying of the Legionnaire I painted so far.
Yeah, because you've done, is it 1 or 2 test ones for the narrative that you've got now?
I've done 2 so far. Like I started on my 3rd today, which is really cool. But yeah, lots more to go. I think for a 500-point Night Lords team, like trying to make it competitive, or like especially in boarding actions, because it's really strange little.
Yeah.
Their Legion traits aren't very good, and they're all based around leadership, and obviously coming up against.
The poster boys of leadership, which is the Deathwing.
Yeah, it just feels like a bit nullified.
I am really looking forward to it. So I've equipped, where I can, everything's got a thunder hammer.
Yeah.
Just, it gives me, like, the nerdy Kieran inside my brain just has visions of, like, there's Night Lords that come through a hole in the rock, and then there's just Deathwing Terminators with a shield, and the hammer's just like, no,
you're
get back.
Playing whack-a-mole with Night Lords,
yeah.
like, get out!
I mean, I really like thunder hammers, and I think it's really cool that they're -1 to hit, but for every one that goes through, that's a dead Night Lord.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Like Chosen,
it's just dead.
It's just dead, straight away dead.
It's proper whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it's been really interesting actually trying to work around that, because I obviously knew what Kieran was going to take with Deathwing, because I think if you've got Deathwing, Joe was going to take Thunder Hammers because they're badass.
I love a good Thunder Hammer.
But also, it's like the siege of the rock as well, like taking over the rock from like a narrative perspective. I think you've got to be a bit cunning, and I think Night Lords are definitely the way to go in that respect. Yeah, we'll have to see where they go. We're
going to do not our next video, but the video after is going to be a showcase and an intro into the narrative. So
story time.
It'll be setting the foundations for the rock.
And where we go from there. And then lots of pretty pictures of, hopefully, some finished teams. Optimistic?
I haven't got as much energy for it as I did the Votan, I think.
I feel like you've been like burning through.
There's just for painting in general at the minute, there's just been this constant, right, I need to get this done for that, I need to get this done for that.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it means I've painted a lot of minis already, and it's, at the time of recording, the end of February. So I think I've done well. I don't think I can sustain that constantly throughout this year, being like, right, okay, we need this for this.
Get a hobby burnout by the summer.
Yeah, so I think the Deathwing will be the last like big push that I'm gonna have, and then I think I'll settle into painting World Eaters. And
just enjoying that.
Unless I come up with some other crazy narrative ideas, and then we end up buying more stuff.
I guarantee that in 2 weeks' time there'll be something else that we have to paint.
Speaking of 2 weeks' time, We're going to Warhammer World.
Woo!
Neither of us have ever been.
Yeah, on time of the video comes out, it'll be the next Saturday. So on the 11th. Very excited.
We'll both be at Warhammer World. I'm going to buy my first Forge World kit.
Woo!
And I need some inspiration to give me some suggestions.
No orcs. He doesn't want to paint orcs. No Tau. He doesn't want to paint Tau either.
No fish boys.
Is there anything that you quite like the sound of?
Warlord Titan.
Warlord Titan. What about some Dark Angel stuff? Because you're going into Dark Angels.
No, it's got to be one mini. Because you're buying a Kaitan.
Yeah, that's true.
It's got to be any of your I'll buy one of the suggestions that someone puts in the comments.
Sure.
So we'll collate all of them together and see what.
Can you have polls on YouTube comments?
Maybe we'll figure that out. But we'll do one on Instagram, and
Nice.
then we'll put all of it in a pot, and we'll see what was suggested the most. I bet it's gonna be an orc squiggle or something stupid.
Excellent. I can't wait to see that.
No, not about that.
Yeah.
As much as I really like the Dark Angels Inner Circle Terminator things are so cool.
That's so awesome.
But the details give me really bad anxiety.
Well, after painting the command squads or whatever that you've got.
Yeah, but they're nothing compared to the Inner Circle. If you just look at their waist, there's just little trinkets hanging off.
Yeah, they're
You keep telling me to come back with the lion.
Because he's sick.
I don't know if I want to do a Primarch though. They're just notoriously bad kits, aren't they?
They are, but I feel like you do feel like you're a pro painter whenever you finish one. You're like,
You've done 2 or 3 of them, you know?
Yeah, I've done 2 Forge World ones. I've done Night Lords and Space Wolves, and they.
Oh yeah, for commissions, weren't they?
Yeah, they were fun to paint, but they were a nightmare to put together. But we'll do a video on that. We'll do Baby's first.
Yeah, we're gonna do. We'll document our Forge World kit. It's gonna be quite funny watching you try and put the Kaitan together when it's half a plastic kit and then half a resin kit.
It'll just be pure rage. Just pure unadulterated.
And I'll document my experience with my first Forge World kit, and I'm sure I'll join the train of why is it like this.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Might want to stick around.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Settle in for a narrative. It's not going to be that long, so don't expect like a 20 video epic and running on the second book of Arcs of Omen. I think we'll go for 2 or 3 missions.
I think that's the game
per
plan.
book.
If there's going to be 5 Arcs of Omen books, I think forging this narrative, I'd probably want to take maybe 2, 3, depending on the book, missions from each narrative book, which would be wicked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just as a final point, I'm so excited for some of them because they're so thematic. Like the one where it sucks people out into space.
Yeah,
there's the dark one. The one where it plunges into darkness. I'm so excited for Night Lords.
Yeah.
Because we're going to house rule that Night Lords don't get affected by that. Because they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be Deathwing in the dark going, "Where's Brian gone? He was there, and now I can't hit him with my Thunderhammer."
Brian's dead.
Brian's dead.
Yeah, it's going to be really sweet. I'm really excited for the narrative, but also to play them, because I think I'm having a blast making them, that's for sure.
Yeah, it'll be a good payoff to see it all done. And to use our lovely boarding actions terrain. Go check out our 24-hour challenge if you haven't already.
Yes, for sure. Then you can see lovely, lovely terrain, and us crying at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I still feel tired thinking about it.
Sadness. Cool.
Thank
you very much for joining us for another episode. If you are interested in buying Night Lords, Dark Angels, World Eaters, or even Kaitans and stuff, I don't know if they sell them on Element Games, but you should check out our affiliate link, which is in the description below. All the money that goes through there really helps the channel, and we can buy more stuff for more content and fun things.
Yeah, so give us a like and a subscribe
as
well.
We will see you next time.
See you later. Could have come in tail whip. Were you just glad I didn't use water gun?
How now, brown cow?
I'm going to recenter all of my chakras.
Align those beads.
Oh dear.
God's sake!
Why are we like this?
You need to calm down. Thank God we got the intro before.